Hey everyone, week 5, yay, 2 weeks left and we are done. You guys are doing a really good job. Keep it up, keep working hard. We're almost there. So the finish line is very, very close. So with week 5, we're going over chapters 11 and 12. I have made some slight changes that I want to make sure I communicate. Typically, every single year, week 5, we do another movie review. I think it's important though that we start diving into COVID-19 and how it has affected sports. What's interesting about this year in this class, well, number one, COVID-19 this will be something that I will teach about in the future and have students really dive into. I want us to do that, but we're kind of living in it, so it's a little bit different, and I think that's what's going to make it even more fascinating and interesting, not only for you guys to do some research on it, but to kind of reflect on how it's affected you, because even a year from now, when we're hopefully out of this, our feelings will feel a little bit different than they do right now. So we'll get back to that in just a second. So you're going to read chapters 11 and 12, which talks a ton about money in sports and media, which this also really pairs well with COVID-19, because right now, some of the biggest areas that are getting hit with when it comes to sports and COVID-19 is the money part of it, all the loss of revenue and things like that. And then obviously the media part of it, ESPN and all the sports channels not being able to show athletics and talk about sports and like what have we been doing in this meantime, okay? So if you go down to the schedule, it is, Monday you're going to read chapter 11, review the PowerPoint, and you're going to begin to research the effects of COVID-19 on sports, because this week you're going to be writing a paper just on that. Tuesday, you're going to read chapter 12 and review the PowerPoint. And then on Wednesday, it's a whole day to work on your COVID-19 paper. So you can see that there's no discussion questions this week. It also is a holiday coming up this weekend. So I kind of want to make sure that we balance out the workload with the holiday over the weekend. So you just have your COVID-19 paper. We'll have a quiz on Thursday, and then on Friday, you could work on your group project. I put that in there if you haven't already, because that's due, just over a week. Personal reflection post will still be due, and then your COVID-19 paper will be due. So the COVID-19 paper, what am I looking for? So it's going to be 2 to 3 pages in length. 2 would be the absolute minimum, okay? And that's like a full 2 pages. I want you to at least at a minimum use 3 to 4 outside sources that you cite within your paper, and then you're also going to give me like a short bib at the end of all the sources that you use. I think 3 to 4 will be pretty thin if you really want to contribute to the paper, but that's got to be the minimum. What are you going to write about? Well, that's going to be a little bit up to you. Some things that you can and should write about would be how COVID-19 has affected athletes. So you could probably research and kind of see, there's lots of stories about collegiate athletes, and I obviously have a small lecture just on COVID that you're supposed to be watching too. Hopefully that will give you some ideas. How's it affected the fans, schools, okay, so like colleges, high schools, how has it affected them? Companies, right? So sponsors, and again, in my lecture here, I'm going to talk about Under Armour is really taking a hit. And then just jobs in general. How has it affected people that typically work at, a Major League Baseball stadium? Now, again, you need to write this paper based on facts. This can't just be all things that you think or that you've thought about. It has to be, here's what I saw, 15,000 people in St. Louis lost their jobs this summer because the stadium isn't open. And here's the article that I used, okay? The other thing at the end of this paper, like always, you're going to write a personal reflection or experience with COVID-19. So whether that's, I know, we have one of your classmates who's coaching right now at the high school level for baseball. So, writing about that. If were a current athlete this spring or winter at Wartburg, what experience did you have with that? Maybe you didn't have any of that and you're just kind of sitting outside watching all of it happen. But it's going to be important for you to kind of reflect and almost like journal about the experience you've witnessed with COVID-19 and sports right now, okay? That's the specific look. Just like everything else, I know COVID-19 is affecting so many things in society and it affected your school and all of that, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking just at how it affected sports. And then obviously again, Thursday, your quiz, Friday, you'll be handing in the paper. If you have questions as you're writing this COVID-19 paper, let me know. Just like always, it can be single space or double space, completely up to you. And then you do need to provide me the sources. This paper is going to be worth just a little bit more than our typical current events or movie reflections. So this one's going to be worth 40 points. And so, I just wanted to make sure that you guys, put a lot of time and effort. And again, there's no discussion questions this week, so you don't have to worry about focusing on those. You can just dive right into the paper. So this is week 5. Make sure that you listen to my short lecture on COVID-19 because I'm going to give you some information in that, which would be helpful for the paper. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to continue to work on grading. You guys, honestly, it's taking me a little bit longer, but it's because you're doing such a good job. I'm really enjoying reading all of your insights and some different things. I mean, some of you have even provided me with different resources that you've been using for your material, which has been awesome. So keep up the good work. I've really enjoyed class. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. 2 more weeks, okay? Let's get through this and finish on a high note. Talk to you soon.